Hey guys, today is day 27. It is February the 27th. It is the 27th day of load. And I don't know if you've noticed, but as we come to the end of load, I really love I have to be honest, I really love the challenge of load and doing a layout every day. But getting behind was a bit of a problem this month, and then getting caught up. And I feel like all I've done for the past several days when I've had time to be in my scrap room is load. And so I'm in the final stretch now. We have two more layouts. How many layouts I got left to do? Let's take a look. So, where I left off with... Alright, so these two you haven't seen yet because they're not up. Oh, yeah. So for day 25, I did a digital layout about bucket lists. So that will be on the blog. I didn't do a video. I can't figure out digital scrapbooking that well. But I really want to find a way to do scrapbooking while I'm on the road for work. Because I feel like my travel schedule is going to get really busy this year. And if I'm going to, you know, have a creative outlet at some point, I really need to learn how to do digital scrapbooking. It will never replace my paper and my glue and all that, but it will be an outlet while I'm on the road. So I did a digital layout for day 25 because there was a lot of typing involved, so I thought that would be a good thing. I can't do day 26 yet because the picture that I need for it is currently on my phone, and my phone is dead. So we're charging that now, and we'll come back to day 26. So day 27 is, the theme is read the manual, and so it's learn something new. And I don't know if you saw my scrap room tour, but behind me, behind my workstation here, there sits a sewing machine. It is a Singer Esteem, whatever that means. I got it at Big Lots. It was $100. And I only remember that because I called my husband and begged him to let me buy it. Anything about $100 I typically call and get permission. So that means that $99 I don't call and get permission. If it's $99, I buy it. If it's $100, I call and get permission. That's kind of where my limit is. So I have this wonderful sewing machine behind me, and it's all plugged in, and it's all ready to go. And I think I've used it on a layout exactly once. And I've had it for several years. So I am going to somehow use this sewing machine on this scrapbook page that we're going to make today. And I'm going to scrapbook. What did I do with that photo? I've had this. This is a 2009 Easter photo of my niece. And I moved my desk and that glare is still terrible. So I'm gonna figure this out. But I'm going to scrapbook. Look how cute she is. And she's still adorable, but she doesn't look anything like that anymore. Look at those big cheeks. Anyway, they call her Little Gina. So anyway, I'm going to scrapbook that photo of Sarah with the Easter Bunny. And I've pulled my Studio Calico kit. Today was reveal day for Studio Calico for the March kits. And I really want to use up my February kit before my March kit gets here. So I have that out. And I did put it in this box. But unfortunately, this box is too big. So I'm going to have to figure out some other way to keep it. But I totally stole this idea from Tracy. And of having the little bin inside, you know, this bin that sits here with all of the embellishments that came with the kit. So I just went and pulled this bowl out of my serving dishes that I never use. And I stuck it in here. So I got it like a consignment store or an antique store or something. I don't remember. But I have all this stuff left. So that's my Studio Calico kit that's still sitting here. And I don't know how much of that I'm going to use. I have the Simon Says stamp kit. And let me see if I can figure out... I don't think I can figure out... Oh, there, yep. I still have the paper in here. This is from June of 2012. So please, dear Lord, help me to get rid of... I'm going to concentrate on this kit, I think, because the colors are more matching what my photo is. And there's some stickles in here that are Stardust. There's some of this black twine, which I probably won't use on this layout. But I do have a little lace doily. I have these little hearts from Pebbles. There's a glassine bag. Do they call these glass? I think they're called these glassine. I think that's what that is. But it's, I don't know. It's a brown envelope. It's a brown bag. So, and then I went to Michael's the other day and they had these really cute, like in their dollar section, like these really cute, like they have some pockets in here. And then these are tags. And I don't know if I'll use them or not, but the colors are kind of, actually the colors don't match at all. Let's put them aside. But I do have these two, this heart here that is pink with the polka dots. And these were also part of that, like, I think it's in their dollar section. But I have these, and I bought these mainly to make my mother-in-law's Mother's Day card because she's big into owls right now, and look how adorable those owls are. So here's where we're starting. As always, I don't know where we're going, but this is where we're starting, and we'll see where we go from here. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you in a couple minutes when I start narrating this mess I'm going to make. Hey guys, so I start out with going through my Studio Calico kit and seeing if there's any papers in there that I like, and I really wanted to use that green as a background. Unfortunately, I just really hate that color, but I thought, you know, it matched the photos, so I really wanted to use it, but I don't like the color at all. It's just not, I don't know. That green is just not. Maybe I could use it in small portions of the layout, but to use it as a full background, I just couldn't. And now I'm going through the Simon Says stamp card kit to find some papers that I want to use. And I thought I would use that heart paper as well, but I end up not using it either. I'm just trimming up the photo here because it wasn't, you know, it came in a package of photos, so it wasn't cut exactly right. And I really wanted to use that heart paper, but when I looked at the other side with the arrows, that black with the arrows, I just really loved that paper, so I didn't want to cut into it. So again, just going through and arranging papers in a way that I think that I might like. And I'm sitting here looking at that green and I'm like, oh, I can't, the green. So I get rid of the green. And I'm going to go with this very white, this white paper that came in the Studio Calico kit. And so far the colors that I'm using for the page are very muted. So I'm thinking, how am I going to pull in some of that fluorescent kind of color, those bright colors that are on the paper. So I'm liking how that is, and I think I want to use some of this Tim and Beck paper that came in the Studio Calico kit as a border. So I'm cutting a couple of pieces of that off, and then I'm going to look at a couple of different options for border punches here. And I'm going to end up using this large scallop border punch from EK Success. So just punching that border, and I don't need to punch it all the way across because I'm only going to use it as a border on that 8.5 by 11 piece of pink paper. So I'm going to adhere that yellow striped paper to this pink paper. Just trying to get that as straight and as lined up as I can, so using my grid mat to do that. And then I know that I need to, obviously I'm going to sew on this layout, so I'm trying to keep the adhesive just in parts where the sewing won't be. I've only ever sewed on a layout once, and it was just as like a background design. I didn't really sew through multiple layers of paper. I used it as I used it on a layout I did with pictures of my husband and my nephew playing with silly string. So I just sewed on the background paper all of these strings to mimic like the silly string. So I wasn't sewing through paper there or anything like that. So here I was really cognizant of where I was putting my adhesive because I knew I wanted to stitch a border around this, so I didn't want the glue on the edges. So in order to bring some of that more fluorescent bright colors that are in the picture to this layout, I'm going to use some of this ribbon from American Crafts. I was looking for my score tape there. And I haven't always used score tape to put ribbon down, but I did it on a layout a couple weeks ago, and it is the easiest way I've found to add ribbon to the page. So I think I'll be using that strategy a bit more. That second piece of adhesive, I didn't like varnish it down enough, so it came back up. But so I'm just going to finish putting this ribbon down, and then once I finish this, I'm going to lay things out a little bit more with the photos and things, and then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew it. Hey guys, I'm back after more time than I wanted to admit that it took me to sew on this layout. As you can see, let me zoom in and I'll show you. It's quite funny. First of all, halfway through one of my stitches, and this one I think I recovered from pretty well. I'm giving myself props for this one. Right around here, I don't know if, there we go. Right around there, the bobbin ran out of thread. So I had to figure out how to rethread the bobbin. And the last time I did that, my mother-in-law was here. And she helped me figure it out. But I read the manual and I figured it out. And then I actually didn't do such a bad job lining them back up after the thread ran out. So let me back up a little bit more and show you the rest of this mess. I did test everything out before on a piece of paper before I sewed on my layout. Unfortunately, if you can see right here, let me zoom in here, see that? I wasn't exactly on the pattern paper when I started this stitch. I sort of went off. I started on the paper like right at the edge, and then, here you go, oops. I started on the paper like right on the edge here, and then, as you can see, came off the paper. And then I realized I wasn't on the paper, so I moved it and put it back on the paper. So I did two different stitches. I did a zigzag stitch, which you can see here, and a straight stitch, which you can see there. And I'm going to need some practice because you can see my stitching is not even. And then look here. Look how much space is left on this one. Yeah. So sewing is definitely something that I'm going to have to work on and, you know, practice. But, you know, it doesn't look so bad. And I'm going to have to figure out a way. I'm just zooming you back out here. I'm going to have to figure out a way here. I forgot, not that one. Where is it? Over here. If you can see that. Let me zoom you back in so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. I forgot, you know how you do you start sewing a little bit and then you back stitch it to keep the stitching in so it doesn't pull out. I forgot to do that there, and it actually took me pulling out the manual to figure out how to actually put the sewing machine in reverse at all. So that's my exploration of using the sewing machine, and I had to rethread the whole thing, so I got some experience doing that. So that was good. And I already cut all the strings off. So, but it's really, I mean, it's kind of nice. I mean, my pattern papers aren't going anywhere now. It's got some weight to it. My ribbon is in place. I sewed right over the ribbon here. And so, I think though I have pink thread in the sewing machine right now. But now that now that I figured out like how to rethread the bobbin and how to, I don't think that bobbin color matters, because I think you only see the bobbin thread back here. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think you need to change the bobbin color every time you sew. At least not for scrapbook pages. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I think I might put like a, and let me tell you, threading the needle on the top part is so much easier than doing that whole bobbin thing. Although I did like how the bobbin, you wind the bobbin, that was really cool because it went really fast. It was awesome. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing, but that was I don't want to admit how long that took, and I didn't record it, so I can't tell you. I don't know. I didn't look at a clock or anything like that. And so this is gonna look a little weird with all these weird stitches, but you know, I'm gonna cover some of this up here, down here. So, but you know, first time, so it's not so bad. So we'll just get back to making the layout now. So now I've decided where I'm going to put my photo, and I put that doily down, and then to bring those very bright colors that are in on the top of the layout, I'm going to add these flowers from Recollections to the bottom here. And I'm just using glue dots to do that. And then I knew I wanted to use some of these stick pins. I don't use stick pins that often on my layouts. Mostly I think because I don't know exactly how to use them. But here I thought that it would be a nice touch. And here I'm going to play a bit of Scrabble. I have these KI Memory icicle letters. They're in the sand alphabet, and I'm just looking at what letters I have left over because I knew that a lot of the vowels and things I used up on a previous layout. So I'm looking through it now to see if there is some words I can come up with here that will spell out something to use as a title on this layout. So I'm just playing a bit of Scrabble, going through and putting things together. I only have a U and a O, I think. Oh, I have an A. So those are the three vowels that I'm working on. So, and then weirdly enough, I have the words to spell out hop and fun. So I decide that because it's like, you know, Easter and the Easter Bunny and stuff like that, that I'm going to name this layout Hop to Fun. And I mean, it's not the best, but that uses up the majority of those letters, and now I only have an A left, and so it's probably time to, you know, let those letters go because there's very little. What I'm doing here is just going through and seeing if there's any other words I can make. So I have the word bar, and I have a word, I could do car. So those are, you know, I'm not the best Scrabble player. I'm gonna have to have my husband look at those letters because I don't play Scrabble that often. I don't play it that often because I'm very bad at it. Even like that Words with Friends game, I don't play that either because I'm just terrible at those kind of games. So there's a little flower that came in that alpha set, so I just put that down there with these stick pins, and I pushed the stick pins through the adhesive and the bottom of the flowers, the back of the flowers, I mean. But I also used a little bit of glossy accents on the actual pearl part of that pin to make sure that they don't go anywhere. So I'm using glossy accents to put the letters down, and you're not going to see me add. I don't think I recorded the part where I added the two in there, but I just used some small letter stickers in between the hop and the fun to add the word to. So I really like this polka dotted heart that came in this Michael's I don't know, chipboard embellishment, I guess. So I decided that I was going to use the heart in the upper left hand corner, and I'm adding, you know, my standard amount of adhesive, of foam adhesive on the back of the heart, because I'm going to lay it on top of the ribbon there. And I like that gem I like the gem that what's the word I'm looking for, that dangles there. I really like that. And what I did there is I just cut the bottom of those stick pins off because they were a little too long and they were pushing through the bottom of the heart. So I just used my wire cutters and cut the bottom of those stick pins a bit to shorten them so the the pin part didn't show through the bottom of the heart there. And now I'm thinking about using some stamps. And this is the stamp, this is a stamp set that came in one of the kits from Simon Says Stamp. So I'm just getting all of the supplies for stamping together here, and I'm gonna use a piece of paper here, and that's the paper that I use to test my stitches on. You can see that there, but I'm testing ink color, which color ink I want to use, and of course I'm going to go with the Memento. They're becoming my favorite inks. And then the stamping says, "You are so very special to me." So I put that up there, and then I'm going to add a bunch of these heart brads around the page. And I couldn't decide here, like I really just wanted to add them with glue dots, but I couldn't decide what would take more time, punching them through and actually using the tines on the brad, or cutting all of the tines off and then using glue dots. I was trying to find the fastest way to do it, but in the end I thought this was faster than cutting all those tines off, so I just punched them through. So I'm just scattering them around, like leading the photo embellished part up into where that heart is. And I'm not going to journal so much on this layout. I don't actually think I journal at all on this layout because it's very obvious. It's again one of those professional pictures of the kids, so I don't journal a lot for those, and it's obvious what it is. So sorry about that. The audio got a little bit cut off there, but here's a final look at the layout. You can see where I added that tube between the hop and the fun words, and that was it. And just to finish the thought, it's obvious what this picture was, so I didn't feel like journaling was needed. So I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.